A man in Warner Robins was sent to prison for a fentanyl distribution case that was directly connected to an overdose death. Houston County District Attorney Eric Edwards said 42-year-old Clyde Richardson pled guilty to distribution of fentanyl on December the 8th and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Edwards said the case began after a 36-year-old Houston County woman was found dead by her bedside after an apparent drug overdose on June the 28th, 2023. Medical examiners determined that the woman had a fatal amount of fentanyl in her blood. An investigation into her death led to the discovery of the victim's phone, which included messages with Richardson and another woman, Marie Vasquez, that showed multiple drug purchases from the two. DA Edwards said both Richardson and Vasquez were indicted in the case on December the 12th, 2023. Vasquez has also pled guilty and is awaiting her sentence for the same crime. A Bibb County jury has convicted a man of malice murder in the 2021 death of Harriet Patrick. According to the Macon District Attorney's Office, Harriet Patrick had just left a birthday party and was driving home along Eisenhower Parkway on October the 10th, 2021, when a stranger pulled up beside her and opened fire. Prosecutors say Quatavius Quayshawn Simmons mistakenly believed the driver was his former girlfriend's new partner and fired 3 shots into Patrick's vehicle. One bullet struck Patrick in the abdomen. Despite her injuries, she managed to call her husband and son and drove herself home to meet first responders. She died 10 days later. After a week-long trial, jurors found Simmons guilty of malice murder. The judge ultimately sentenced him to life in prison with the possibility of parole. 2 paramedics went to the hospital after an ambulance crash. According to the sheriff's office, a car and ambulance were involved in a crash on State Route 96 and South Houston Lake Road on Saturday afternoon. Both EMTs were taken to Emory Hospital in Warner Robins. A juvenile was injured during the incident and was taken to a hospital in Macon. At this time, no life-threatening injuries have been reported. The crash is being investigated. This is a developing story, and we'll let you know once we learn more.
This morning, mourners are gathering to pay tribute to the victims of the terror attack on Australia's Bondi Beach. At least 15 people were killed and more than 40 others injured after 2 gunmen opened fire during a Hanukkah celebration. Police confirmed the Jewish community was the intended target.
You could just hear the gunshots and they're just so loud. And we didn't know which way that they were shooting, so we were like running on the open road.
Video shows the suspect, a 50-year-old father and his son, 24 years old, perched atop a pedestrian bridge firing long guns. Police killed the father at the scene while his son is in critical but stable condition. More than 1,000 people were on the popular beach at the time, the victims ranging from 10 to 87 years old. Among those killed, one of the event's organizers, Rabbi Eli Schlanger, and Holocaust survivor Alex Kleitman, whose daughter shared with ABC News that he was killed while trying to protect his wife. Authorities say the bloodshed could have been much worse if not for the heroic actions of a bystander. The man, who police have identified as Ahmad al-Ahmad, confronted one of the gunmen by jumping from behind a car, wrestling for control of the weapon and disarming him. Ahmad suffered multiple gunshot wounds and is currently recovering at the hospital.
We hope he will be fine. He's a hero. 100% he's a hero.
This tragedy is shaking a nation that has some of the toughest gun laws in the world. But now the Prime Minister is proposing even tighter controls, including limits on the number of firearms a person can register and regular checks on licenses over time.
If we need to toughen these up, if there's anything we can do, I'm certainly up for it. What we saw yesterday was an act of pure evil, an act of terror, an act of anti-Semitism.
And you can see behind me, a crowd has gathered here at the scene to hold vigil for the victims. The Prime Minister also announcing that the government will extend funding to provide security for the Jewish community here in Australia. Faith Abube, ABC News, Sydney, Australia.
Karen Bass and the family of Rob Reiner say the legendary Hollywood director and his wife, Michelle, have died. Sources tell ABC News Reiner and his wife were found stabbed to death in their Los Angeles home Sunday afternoon.
The Los Angeles Police Department is now conducting an investigation at this residence here on Chadbourne, and that investigation will continue over the coming days.
Officials say they are not seeking a suspect and no arrests have been made. According to a neighbor, actors Larry David and Billy Crystal, who starred in Reiner's film When Harry Met Sally, visited the home Sunday evening. The two staying briefly before leaving with the neighbor, saying Crystal looked like he was about to cry. The son of comedy icon Carl Reiner, Rob Reiner would forge his own path in Hollywood in the 1970s, playing Mike Stivick's son-in-law to Archie Bunker on the hit sitcom All in the Family.
I mean, haven't you ever gotten anything you didn't ask for?
After the show ended, Reiner turned to directing, making his debut with the mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap. He'd go on to make beloved classics, including The Princess Bride and When Harry Met Sally.
I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich.
And A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
Overnight reaction to the shocking news rolling in. Actor Josh Gad calling Reiner one of the greatest directors of our time. He was simply a beautiful person. Director Paul Feig calling him a true visionary titan and a lovely, lovely person. And former President Barack Obama writing Reiner's career gave us some of our most cherished stories on screen. But beneath all of the stories he produced was a deep belief in the goodness of people. Rob Reiner was 78. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Happy Monday, everybody. Starting out very chilly earlier this morning, and we were in the low to mid 20s. And today we're going to see abundant sunshine here in Middle Georgia. But despite all the sunshine, temperatures are not going to get that warm today. Only looking at low to mid 40s for our high. Now the average high this time of year is 61. So we're going to be a good around 18 to 18 degrees below average for the afternoon. And then tomorrow morning, we'll start out with mostly clear skies. It will be very cold again, likely our coldest morning yet this season. We'll be going down to right around 20 degrees. We could actually see a few upper teens tomorrow morning as well. And then during the day tomorrow, despite the colder start, we will actually see temperatures a little warmer than today by about 10 to 12 degrees with plenty of sunshine going to the mid 50s for tomorrow afternoon. Now we'll start out Wednesday with some clouds around and low 30s. During the day on Wednesday, we'll see mostly cloudy skies, but look at that, temperatures warming back up to the 60s. I think most of us will be getting up to the lower 60s for Wednesday, and we'll be staying dry through the next few days. It looks like our next rain chance will be coming in here Thursday night into early Friday. That is ahead of another cold front, but behind that cold front, we won't be near as cold as we were behind the one that we just saw go through. It'll just reinforce some cooler air for our nighttime temperatures. Looking at our highs over the next several days, the average high this time of year, 61. We will be well below that today. We'll be below it again tomorrow as we get into Wednesday, getting back closer to where we should be. But look at the rest of the week and even into next weekend being the week of Christmas. Looks like our temperatures will be going back above average as next week we could be hitting 70 degrees again. So our forecast for today, we're going to see lots of sunshine out there, but on the chilly side with highs only in the low to mid 40s. And then tomorrow morning, as we said, starting out near 20 degrees, possibly some upper teens as well. And then here is our 10-day forecast showing tomorrow those mid 50s with lots of sunshine. Clouds move in for Wednesday, lingering into Thursday. And look at those highs jumping back up to the 60s. We'll stay in the 60s the rest of the week. Slightly cooler Saturday, upper 50s. But then look at next week. We're going to be warming back up. We'll be getting near 70 degrees a couple days next week.
Urban Meyer built college football dynasties.
Football is a way of life.
Mark Ingram II ran his way to a Heisman.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show with this thing.
Rob Stone calls it like he sees it. This is the Triple Option, where legends tackle the biggest headlines in college football and the NFL with guests who don't hold back.
You're not winning with that owner.
Wow. It's football talk that hits harder than game day.